Tea in the Dark, episode 7. What exactly is an open mind? Part of having an open mind is considering that you might not have the answers. So don't think that I'm claiming to be authoritative here. I'm just trying to open your mind. And what I consider an open mind is one that's open to other ideas, let's say. The idea that maybe you're wrong. I believe it's Socrates, all I know is that I know nothing, which is a fantastic idea. And that's how people feel. You know, the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know, ideally, if you have a reasonable level of intelligence. But that's not my point. My point is, what is an open mind? And I'd like to share some examples here. There's more examples that I have than would fit in 5 minutes. So I'm just going to share what I can. I got a list in front of me. A framework that I consider very important. This is going to get in the way of the examples, but this is necessary. I might just share one example in time. These days, we see a lot of people saying, oh, well, do you have a study to back that up? Oh, where's the data? Oh, trust the science. I am trying to find a way to sidestep that, not because I want to claim to be better than it. If you are, for example, a policymaker, you should probably look at the data before making a policy. But most of us aren't policymakers. We're just people talking about ideas. And so having the peer-reviewed study in front of me, which is ridiculous if you're meeting people at a party, makes no sense. I prefer to focus on ideas that can be rationalized within your own head. You are an amazing piece of machinery, computer, soul, body, whatever. You can reason things out. And so what I'm here to talk about today will have no scholarly studies. Do your own research if you want it. I am challenging you to open your mind and just consider what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is kefir. I don't care how you pronounce it. It's pronounced K-E-F-I-R, and it is a fermented drink. So let's set up the foundation. Notice how there's no scholarly sources here. I'm sorry that your English teachers forced that on you. Take a breath, relax your shoulders. We're just talking. Bread. You've probably had bread before, and some breads rise by virtue of yeast. Now, you don't have to be a baker to understand this. You've probably heard of yeast, but as a quick little primer or reminder, yeast is alive. It is some sort of bacteria or mold or something. Notice how it doesn't matter what it is, but what it does is it eats sugar. Remember sugar, fructose, dextrose, maltose. I think there was like a video when we were kids that would like joke about the different versions, but they end in ose. That'll come important later. And what the yeast does is it eats sugar and it like digests it somehow. Not like you and me. They don't have stomachs, I don't think. Notice how it doesn't matter. And they produce gas, and that causes the bread to rise. It expands. It's pretty cool. It's how you make sourdough bread. I love sourdough bread. Notice how we can all agree, without going to a science lab, that there is a thing that eats sugar and changes the composition of the stuff that it is in. That's Exhibit A. Well, let's continue. Let's talk about milk. Let's talk about lactose intolerance. Let's talk about me growing up in America's dairyland, having a hard time with dairy and getting stomach aches. Lactose intolerant. Some part of you cannot tolerate lactose. Oh, snap. Remember when I brought that up earlier? Yes, lactose is the sugar within milk. And oh man, he's talking about science. I'm not. It's the word, lactose intolerant. You don't have to be a scientist to know that phrase, and if you have it, you certainly don't have to be a scientist to know how it feels. Well, remember yeast and how it ate sugar? Well, imagine if there was a different kind of yeast or mold or bacteria. Remember, it doesn't matter, but what the thing does is it eats lactose. Well, that's what kefir is. It's a grain that originally started in the Middle East, something like that. Notice how it doesn't matter? It could have started in South America. Who cares? What it does is it eats lactose, and it produces a gas or something. I don't know. But kefir, the way we know it, is a drink that you might be able to buy at the store, and it smells kind of stanky, smells kind of like milk. But remember how I talked about how I was lactose intolerant, or maybe, what's the gentler version? Lactose sensitive, perhaps? But your body's always doing crazy stuff. There's a lot going on in your gut that you probably don't understand, and that's okay. That's not part of being human. You eat food, sometimes you get a stomach ache. You don't have to know the bacteria within you. But kefir is a grain that eats lactose. Remember that part? So you can drink kefir. It has the bacteria in it. When it goes into your gut, you have now recruited little guys whose only job in life is to eat lactose. And I can tell you, firsthand experience, I'm not a doctor, but try it. You have nothing to lose if you're lactose intolerant. Kefir is a drink that has had the lactose removed by the little guys. You drink it, you drink the little guys, now you've recruited guys who can eat lactose. So I'm kind of going off here. I probably am going to take this over 5 minutes, unfortunately, but I want to wrap up the point. In general, notice how you didn't have to do any science there. Like, I didn't just lie to you. I didn't just invent the idea of kefir. It's a real thing. Google it. Go to the store, maybe drink some. You heard of probiotics? Well, this is a probiotic. You consume the little dudes, they help you consume lactose. I haven't had a stomachache from milk in months. It's real. And it's only real because I kept an open mind. Imagine if I heard that and said, no, that's dumb, or oh, no, that's not real. No, you got to open your mind. This is what I consider to be an open mind.